Yo, what's good?
Hey, what up, Busy Bone? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Everything going well? I ain't complaining. How life treating you? I got my shit together.
You're tuned into urlradio.net. Amanda Butcher here and Stacy Sturm here with the one and only Busy Bone with, of course, from Bone Thugs and Harmony. How's it going, Busy?
It's going good. I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy. We just had a major show out there in Bismarck. Just ecstatic right now. My career, everything, my group, my band, the brand, just so much stuff going on. It's lovely.
Well, now we were really impressed. Now I saw you guys a long time ago. You sounded almost exactly the same as when I saw you like 20 years ago.
Well, thank you very much. And I've been working on my chest too and my arms. So I've been working out.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I know you see. I made sure that I wore a medium shirt because what I wanted to do was I wanted them to see my guns and I wanted them to see my muscles. But no, sis, thank you so much. I've always had a falsetto tenor voice, and I've always been like, the tenor of the group, and it feels good when someone says, hey, you did a good job vocally up there, because it isn't all about my energy and dancing around and making the people excited. It's them being able to hear some really nice sounds in their ears that I focus on as well. So thank you.
Oh, I definitely had eargasms, eargasms.
I love, like, out of all the rappers that I've listened to over the years, I love your canter. I just love the way you rap. I just love your sound. I love everything. I just love you, Busy.
You're going to make me go to the studio today right after this interview. So keep it up. Keep it up. And you're going to get another eternal record. Keep it up. Just keep it on up.
Oh, so now tell us a little bit about your career with Bone Thugs. How did you even get into Bone Thugs? Give us the backstory on that.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but, the whole John Walsh story, blessings to my brother out there. I was found when I was younger, went through the turns and the twists of youth, foster homes, et cetera, et cetera. Around the time of 14 years old, I moved to Cleveland, and Lazy Bone, he stayed a street over, and his mother kept telling him about me. Like, I know this little boy who can sing. You got to get him in your group. I know this little boy who can rap. You got to get him in your group. Yeah. So from all of that, then we met in school. And just to, sum everything up, I met Lay, he introduced me to everybody. This was way back in the day. And, from that point on, we built a friendship. And the only thing that we really had in common, because like, when you're young and you first meet someone, you don't know shit about them. But what we did have in common is we sounded good together. We could all sing. And that was the common bond that we shared amongst each other. So it was a thing of just us wanting to be around each other all the time after that. And then us proving to each other that we wasn't, and pardon my French, hoe-ass niggas. That was our thing. Like, Our thing was like, okay, we got the music down pat. Now we got to get the friendship down pat.
Yeah.
So every small little thing that we would do, we would always look at each other like, you went out on us. And then that person that did something, even if it was withhold a bag of chips when we were hungry and starving, we'd give him the blues the whole day. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Until finally the next bag of chips, he shared it. So that was how we raised ourselves, and along with our collective mothers and stuff. And, talent shows, we went through all of that cool stuff, and finally made the decision as youngsters to go out to Los Angeles and pursue our dream.
Is that where you met Eazy-E?
Yeah, that's all the stars aligned there. Yeah, definitely. That's where we met Eazy-E. We struggled for about 8-9 months, and called a few business people at our age that could get us in contact with, Eazy-E. Finally, he listened to us. It was some back and forth. We got our butts back down to Cleveland and made it in Cleveland. That was the craziest part of the story. Right. We went all the way to Los Angeles to get a phone call from Easy E and then had to go all the way back home to make it.
That's true.
So it was a beautiful thing. And then from that point on, we just been working and learning and growing up as men and raising each other and so on and so forth. So it's just been a fantastic voyage. And, you know, we're finally here at I'd say we're about 20 years in with Eternal. And we've been together forever, you know, 20 plus years when we were all children. So, I mean, and this is where we are right now. We're healthy as we can be. You know, we're bonded. We're sounding good, you know, and we're a traveling band, and we're working on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and some other things that, you know, we want to accomplish on our own, but we want to, you know, make sure that we implement to the world that Bone Thugs and Harmony was a superstar group. We brought some great music for Cleveland and for the people in our families, and you know, that's kind of like where we're at now. It's legacy time, you know, and branding issues. And soon we're going to be on the McDonald's, and 10 years, 20 years down the line, we're going to, you know, they're going to be remixing Bone Thugs and Harmony songs at Starbucks and McDonald's and stuff like that. You know, and really just keep the music and the harmonies and the chimes going, you know, for generations to come.
That's exactly what steps you guys aside from a lot of rap groups is the harmonies along with the amazing the lyrics. Of course,
you have double harmonies, which is pretty rare when it comes to rap.
I know, you know, and that's Motown right there. That's all Motown. That's not, we can't take all the credit for that. That's what our moms taught us and stuff like that. You know, Marvin, the Temptations, Smokey, and all of those guys, the old school fellas. So that's where we get our chiming harmonies at. So, I mean, just a beautiful thing. It's just like, yeah, you guys are like, this is the easiest interview in the world. Y'all know what's up. Keep going.
Now, you went solo for a while though. What made you decide to go out on your own, Bizzy?
Well, it just seemed like the right thing to do with the career that we had. Like once Crossroads hit the table, it was pretty obvious that we were going to be here for a while. So the exploration of music, like me, all of us in the group fell in love with music at different times.
Yeah,
I fell in love with music, and music became my mother per se when I was kidnapped on the road and listening to the radio. And I could duplicate voices. So that's when I started my relationship with just music in general. So, you know, Lazy Bones started somewhere else. Crazy Bones started somewhere else. So these things are like, the reasons why we're musicians. So our solo careers and our solo records reflect that and reflect our love of music. It's a relationship that's deeper than our friendship because it's the glue that kept us together before we knew if we were pieces of shit towards each other or not. You know, you don't know what kind of person that you're going to be to another person that makes you just link up with them. So the common bond was music. So that's first. So we all went out on our solo things, and now it's become a part of our rapport. Now it's become a part of our repertoire of things that we do for a living that bring in money, that bring in branding issues, notoriety. Hey, this member's doing this. Hey, we're going to give you guys this if all of the members show up. It gives each member personal value as well as bring back to the group. So it's like, just like, you know, adding on to yourself to bring more dynamic to your group. So that's what we've been able to somehow make happen. You know, other groups, you know, they break up, and so on and so forth. But, you know, music bonded us as friends. So pretty simple.
You know what shocked me so much was when you were on America's Most Wanted, like back in 2002, was when we finally kind of learned your story. I was like, holy shit. How did nobody know any of this until 2002? You'd been famous forever by then.
I know. I mean, because I think that Bone Thugs and Harmony was so major.
Yeah.
That even that story right there, it would have took something that crazy and that wow to happen in order to even stand next to the name Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Right.
People still don't know about that, and people aren't grasping it, and I think it's a beautiful thing. because if I was hurt, if I was embarrassed, here come my niggas to cover the whole thing. Shit, you ain't famous for that. You're famous for this.
Right.
But
yeah.
being where I'm at, you know, outside of my spiritual connections and protecting myself, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony is so major that even that happening to me only adds to the brand. Oh, so they should have made it. They had some struggle. They had some strife. And so, and that's why I said the bond of music when I fell in love with music, and that adds to it.
Wow. Now, your guys' debut EP that came out, Thuggish Ruggish Bone, your first hit, what kind of happened in the process of getting that to number, you know, getting that out there on the charts? What kind of happened where you're slowly seeing to myself, oh, we are going somewhere, we are making it? What kind of phone calls and stuff like that, feedback were you receiving from Thuggish Ruggish Bone?
Well, like when we first left, we actually said we were going to go meet Eazy-E. Before we had gotten there, the actually going to make it had really, really happened in Cleveland when everyone told us, you've got to get out of Cleveland. You've got to, all you guys need is for someone to hear you. Because we had something that nobody in the world had. And, you know, as we traveled around, you know, we kept hearing it. We kept hearing it. You guys got something nobody has ever heard before. So when we got there, it was more mission orientated, more than I think that we have it. The breaking point where you're at is when Eazy died, and when we said, "Damn, we did all this work. Is it all over?"
Right.
Because when we met him the first day, we knew we had it because he moved us he moved us back to L.A. As soon as we got backstage to meet him and he seen us, the guys that he was talking to, we were already there. Like we were already there.
Wow.
You know, so. Yeah, because once you meet a guy like Eazy-E, you know, or once you meet a guy like Crazy Bone now, and you're an artist, you know you've made it. Like so many others, you know, with the Mo Thug records and the Big B's and the Majesties and the, you know, those different things and the people that have made it through us. It's just with our music, it's just everlasting thus far, you know?
Right.
And that's where we are, you know. It was the same thing with Eazy. When we met him, we made it. Period. If the record didn't go platinum, we did it. We didn't because our shit was fucked up. But when we met it, we made it.
Now, I know what's behind the name, your name, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit on how the name Bone Thugs and Harmony came about?
Well, family. It was a family thing, and it started off with, you know, 5 brothers wanting to build their own family within themselves. And, you know, everybody needed to have the last name Bone. So it was the characteristics of what we were. First, I was Wishbone. And, you know, then as I showed them on stage that, you know, my mind was very, very busy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're a busy guy.
Yeah, my mind is here. My mind is there. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm over here. I'm over there. But, you know, so it just formulated. Lazy because of his southern aspect on talking. Yeah, how you do it? That's why behind our raps, when they say their last words, we're like, bang. That's all Lazy Bone right there. Now for your thing. Now for your thing. That's Lay. That's Lay right there. That's Lazy Bone right there. So, because that's how he talks. And he still talks that way to this day. But
I thought it was just the weed.
There you go. There you go. No. Some good old herb and maybe a glass of Chardonnay. But so Flesh, he was named Flesh just because it was like he enveloped everything about us. His name was indoctrinated when he got out of college and he decided to just be with us. Because he was thrown between becoming an NBA superstar and, you know, being a musician with us. And, you know, he decided to roll with us for, you know, all the circumstances at hand led him over to us. So he became Flesh and Bone because he embodied everything that Bone Thugs and Harmony was. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. So, and then Wishbone, of course, he's cousin. He's stage show. You know, he's Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just what he is. Wishbone. You know what I mean? And it just who he is. I can't exemplify his name. I would have to let him speak on him. But and Crazy Bone, of course, his mind is crazy. He's diabolical. He's a genius, a musical genius. This dude he started and he learned how to produce just like Dr. Dre. Crazy could have went in any direction that he wanted to go in. He could have been straight production, you know? And, you know, he started from the grassroots. Very talented kid, you know, technical as all hell. You know, he would have always been in music. If he didn't make it as an MC, he'd have probably, you know, been an engineer or whatever it may have been over there. So, yeah, man, that's how we got the names. And it keeps growing, too. Not to mention, it grows. Like, with each moment, like with each step, the names take on more meaning. You know, so that's the dynamic of the family, and the family names. And then we had to get alter egos, of course. I'm Rest in Peace, Wishbone Straight Jacket, Lazy Bones #1 Assassin, it's Crazy Bones Leatherface. These are alter egos. And this was when we were young and we had to walk the street and we were scared as fuck. So we had to put on, you know, that gird of protection. Me, I was always carrying a pistol. Crazy always had something in his pocket. Lazy always had a brick and a pouch bag or something like that. Bizzy always had a gun. And I'm talking young. I'm talking about 14, 15, 16, 17, you know, the few years that we were able to build and so on. So, you know, we also had those. And, you know, other branches. We got the Bone Brothers and so on. So we built something, you know, amongst ourselves. We still do our own huddle up thing and do our thing, you know?
Now, have you seen a huge resurgence, a big change in your career again because of Straight Outta Compton coming out? I was so happy to see you guys were featured in there, that they actually went into that part of their story too.
Yeah, it was dope. It was even dope to still be out working too, because we've been really working on brand new issues. Like, we sat down and we found out what our net worth was, and we knew we were worth much more. So we just decided to buckle down and really just go on a mission for the rest of our lives. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything included, to add as many years that we were going to need to be productive. Wow. But it was a resurgence when the NWA moved. Let me tell you something. When they showed what they showed, everybody said, damn, that just led into story for you guys. Yeah. And it was just like, exactly. So we sat down with Ruthless Records and we're like, hey, you know, let's do this. You know, in the name of young Eazy-E and senior and junior and Ruthless Records, let's come back together and do something positive. So basically Ruthless said, you guys' story isn't even finished being written yet.
Right.
So, you know, with the resurgence, it just renews that we need to be out there grinding. We need to be out there working. We need to keep it moving so the story is phenomenal and our lives are phenomenal, and so on and so forth. So,
you know how much love you have, Bizzy, though? When they showed that footage of you guys in the studio and people realized it was that was you guys recording, like Bone Thugs recording, the whole studio went, damn, yeah! Like, they were so excited to see you guys just on screen, you know, like, even though it wasn't you guys, it was like you guys. But the portrayal of you, people are like, yeah, Bone Thugs! The whole theater went crazy when they saw you guys in there.
Well, it was crazy because, you know, they had the tape in there at the end and, you know, so on and so forth. It just, I don't know, it was a wonderful thing. I think if we stay out here working and we stay people, because, you know, even after every show, we try to, you know, meet and greet the fans and so forth. So it's all paying off. It's all paying off. Exactly. It's all paying off.
Well, you guys announced earlier in 2015 that there will be only one single copy of the last album. And now, is this actually going to be the final album?
Well, I mean, our whole scientific approach to that was it's going to be a new way that people actually purchase music. Yeah. And CDs are going out of style now.
You got that.
Have been out of style. You got your hardcore DJs and, you know, the hip-hop bass. But they're going out of style. And, you know, and there's new technology that's going to approach it. And there's going to be new ways of putting together projects in order for people to listen. Now, we don't know if it's still going to be people putting out albums or records, or if they're going to go the iTunes route, 129 per song, or where they're going to go with it. But we just want to stay up on the times technologically. So we figured if we put one more beautiful golden record together again, it could be something that adds to the vault. It adds to eternalizing what we're trying to do. And as we get older, because eventually these kids are going to take over for the band. I say when we turn about 70, 80, 90 years old, we'll stop making records. But, I mean, so yeah, we're just really, we're planning, and, you know, that record, like, we have numerous amount of songs, and we've leaked a few of them to let people hear them and so on and so forth. And, you know, so that's just what we're doing right now. It's just like it's taking a while to put together a project of that magnitude.
Well, I know a lot.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
A lot of new artists now are putting out their stuff, not on CDs, but they are putting it back out on vinyl. Like, I just bought Ed Sheeran on vinyl, and I just bought Snoop Dogg remastered on vinyl. I think a lot of artists are doing it on vinyl. I would buy you guys if you were on vinyl. I would love it. I would listen to you every day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's going to always be those instances where there are special orders for, you know, in specifics. But, yes, definitely. And, you know, you're going to have the old school, and people are going to still love, you know, to get the records, but it's not going to be CDs. CDs scratch way quicker than records. So durability-wise, you knew that CDs were going to go out of style because they weren't durable. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think people just don't have...
That's why we're doing it.
They don't have the emotional attachment to CDs as people do to vinyl. I think that makes a big difference too. Sometimes you just get attached to stuff. Like, nobody really got attached to 8-tracks either, or CDs, but there is an attachment to vinyl.
Don't touch my vinyl.
I know, right?
Yes.
I love
it. Yeah, it's beautiful to understand the laws of attraction of our entire world, our entire species, you know, and humanity, the reaction over it. How we all understand that one thing. That's a beautiful thing. Pardon me, I just smoked some tangerine. Go ahead, continue. Tangerine moment.
That's okay.
So what, I have to ask you, what do you think about the rappers nowadays? Like your Fetty Wap and your Kanye and your Drake. Like, what do you think about those guys that are out now?
I think that those guys are good for the industry. I think that people love them. Their record sales and their clientele and their fan base is undeniable. So I like cheer everybody on that's doing really, really good and not fucking with me.
That's right.
Hey, good. Do I know him? I don't know him. He's cool. All right, good. Shit, he ain't fucking with me. So, but yeah, definitely. Like seriously, those guys, man, you know, we cheer them on. I did some stuff with Kanye, at the We Are the World convention that we had. Well, not a convention. It was like part 2. Lionel Richie was a part of it. Quincy, a whole bunch of Quincy Jones, let me say, senior. And, you know, a few major names and so on and so forth. So I'm always cheering on people that I see in the industry. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off now.
No, well, how we can rephrase that question a little bit. You've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. So as throughout the years you've seen music grow and you guys have grown, what do you think about the music now versus the music when you first started?
I think it's songs, to be honest with you. I think it breaks down into songs. I can't say all of the music, you know, it's because I love what's going on now today. You know, with hip hop and R&B, you got to remember we're a rapping and singing group. You know, that's just what we do. We harmonize, but we singing. Let's just keep it real.
You certainly do.
So I look at artists like Alyssa Cara, who's, you know, doing what she's doing, and different artists, you know, songs like Outlaw, things of that nature. But you know, DMX, man.
Yeah.
Old school DMX. I still love that. And, you know, some of the new things that I listen to, you know, Sean's dope. I don't fuck with you. That's dope. Yeah. Of course, Wayne, he's always gonna be dope. You know, so I don't know. I don't think it's a versus. I think it's still the 80s versus us. I think it's the 70s, 80s versus 90s, 2000s. When it's the year 3000, then I'm gonna be old school. Then I'll be old school. But no, I love the artists that are out today, and I think that it's an even playing field.
I think so.
I mean, because with this new technological shit, for an artist to even go platinum, double platinum, triple platinum, quadruple platinum, it's fucking crazy.
Right. Yeah,
It
that's
is.
true, because it's really hard for them.
It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys just went to Canada. Was that right for your first time? I believe Dustin over at Chief Entertainment was talking. You guys just came from Canada, correct?
We just came from Canada. You are correct.
What a great tour. How was Canada for you guys?
Funnest thing ever. I've been able to go to 2 countries thus far. Canada and Australia and New Zealand. I think that's 3. But it's been phenomenal. Canada was crazy. It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. They hip to the styles. They got nice clothes out there. They got the hip hop gear. They got the Jordans, so it's really, really, really cool. Really, really cool. I had a great time. And the band had a great time. We made it back home safe. Nobody got hurt at shows. It was phenomenal.
Now, Bizzy, I do a lot of interviews with a lot of different bands, and my favorite crazy question to ask would be, what is your craziest road story of all time?
It was probably one of the first tours. I think Easy was still around during that time. And we were just uncontrollably getting fucked up. Uncontrollable Hennessy, uncontrollable, just weed everywhere, and so, the promoter got onto the bus and was like, y'all got to do this show. We were all obliterated. I was passed out, just messed up, full of, Jack Mack. You feel what I'm saying? For the brothers down, Jack Mack, and the promoter tried to wake me up, and I threw the fuck up all over him.
Oh.
All over him. Just threw up. And everybody started laughing. The promoter was mad as hell. We lost a whole bunch of money that night because we couldn't get on stage. And it was one of the most craziest stories I could think of right now. Especially when Easy was alive. When he heard about it, I'm quite sure he chuckled. My stories with the missus, that's the good stuff.
Oh, you can give us the crazy one of them. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let me tell you. Well, let me just tell you, we had a brother-sister hate relationship. Is what Lazy Bone says.
Oh,
but I'm not gonna tell any stories about what happened, but I'm gonna save that for the book.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna save that for the book. But it just the entire time with Rufus, when Easy left, when he came back, it means so much, and it was so much within that let me tell you, I start reminiscing when you start talking about NWA.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm good. We had a brief Academy Award moment. Oh, we're back.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Speaking of NWA, I've been hearing rumors that there might be some new members, and that kind of might be resurrected.
I don't know. I haven't heard. The only thing I heard was they got another movie coming out with Suge Knight and DPG.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Suge Knight, that's a different story, isn't it? That's a whole story in itself.
Hey, sure. Flat out. That is crazy. Everything that's going on, and just to see where, everybody's going and winding up, it makes you sad, you know what I'm saying, to see motherfuckers around you, you know what I'm saying, that's going down. I don't give a shit. Even the dudes that robbed me, I don't want to see them in prison.
Yeah,
that's a bad place. Bad place. Whole nother story. Again, Academy Award. Let's move on.
Well, you guys definitely threw down Saturday night. The house, everybody was just in awe over how fabulous your performance was. In Bismarck, North Dakota, we don't get a lot of talent, period. So when we were able to see a West Coast Fest here in Bismarck, we were all in shock and we're enjoying the crap out of that show. You guys definitely put on one hell of a show. Is there anything special that you do on a day-to-day basis in order to put on such a show, like such as workout or supplements or anything like that?
Yeah, he said he's been working out, Amanda.
Well, yeah, he's been working out, but
I saw the gun show.
I want to know the ritual. There's always a ritual.
I mean, well, CC wish I have this Patron. The champagne flows. I roll up me some weed.
Not at all.
I currently, stop messing with carbonated beverages. So I'm like water, stuff like that. And I'm usually in a room by myself, keep it to myself, in my journal, thinking, let's have a good show tonight, etc. And the rest of the fellas usually partying, meeting and greeting with the people. And, we get together, say our prayer, and we get on that stage and do what we do. And it's an experience, that we give to who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a comfort zone that it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just really, really, really different. Really different. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's the ritual before we get on stage. It's no Ouija boards or no dumb shit like that. Don't worry about that. I got that. I went to Toys R Us to go get it. I got it. We all right. It's just,
Oh, God.
Oh man, you guys, seriously, Busy. You guys put on one hell of a show, and I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. I really do.
Yeah, I can attest to the fact that, that you guys were so great with the people, talking to a meeting, like everybody on that tour. Even, I'm not going to lie, I'd heard some bad stuff about Warren G, but I had a great talk with him backstage. And the fact that you guys talk to your fans and you take pictures with your fans and you still reach out to them, that's what's kept you guys around for so long. And Bismarck loved you guys for that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Some people are so humble
Mm-hmm.
that they don't know where they stand,
Mm-hmm.
in places, as far as that particular subject. And the abundant amount of love of the people is just phenomenal. It's, it's a phenomenal thing. You just have to know how to flip it to your advantage,
Right.
and not, you don't want to, you want to flip it to your advantage. You want to make sure that you get the most out of the person that you're dealing with at the moment. And depending on what they give you, depends on, how you flip it. It could be somebody real pumped and, crazy. Oh, he just been drinking. He having a good time.
Yeah.
It's 5-10 minutes ain't gonna hinder me all like that.
Right.
With that person in particular. But if he come up in there fighting, and then of course security deal with it, whoop his ass, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the way, the way that you have to manage around the people. And some people don't have that one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that in particular. They don't really understand how that works, but it's one of those things, being a people person, so yeah, definitely that they're very important because they're enjoying the show and they're coming out to see you and they don't want to see you all, sedity and so on and so forth. They've already paid, their admission fee. Shit, first for wanting to go see you and then putting up the goddamn paper.
True. Yeah. Well, thanks for being on with us today, Bizzy. We're so happy that we got a chance to talk with you.
Right. I had a great combo with you guys. Please, post me on the interview. Let me know when you're going to
Absolutely.
And all that cool stuff. So lovely. I appreciate it. And keep rocking and rolling shit.
You too. Thanks again, Busy. We'll talk to you in the future.
All right. Love.
All right. Bye.
Bye.